Okay, Murrlandd Babee. Thank you for joining us at the Lyrics Lounge. How you doing today?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I appreciate you being here, man. I thank you for
It's
your
a
time.
blessing.
I thank you for your time. So, what we like to do is get into the artist a little bit of background. Let's start here. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in two places.
Mhm.
I grew up here, Oxon Hill, Glass Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also grew up in New Orleans, Knife Ward, also through the parish, St. Bernard Parish to be exact.
Okay. And what other famous or artists come out of that ward? Knife Ward.
That ward, well, you got people like Mandy Fresh.
Mm.
You got people that's all through the city, like Soldier Slim,
Mhm.
Baby,
Mm-hmm.
BG from 13th Ward.
Wow. And how long did you spend down in New Orleans there?
I spent there, well, my whole father's side of the family from New Orleans, so it's always just, I had a southern upbringing all my life.
Right.
All the grandkids, we from up here, and all my peoples, they down there, so I probably stayed there probably about like a couple, maybe almost a year.
Okay.
A whole year.
Okay. And what did you find was it a culture shock coming up here? Did you find things to be different or more the same? Like you find things to be the same or more different when you went from New Orleans to DC?
It really isn't a difference, honestly. DC, we got Go-Go up here. Down there, they just call it second line.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. I know Backyard and a lot of go-go bands go down there and do shows.
Yeah.
Zydeco, I think they call it. A lot of Zydeco bands and stuff like that in Houston and in New Orleans. Describe how you grew up. Was it a happy childhood? What was the background? What was how was
I got a chance. Honestly, I got a chance to live both sides. I got a chance to be poor.
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to be a little fortunate at the same time. Just depends on what side of the family I was on.
Okay. And the lyrics often reflect themes of urban life, and it's a lot of emotion in your music. I find when I listen to your music, there's a lot of vulnerability there. There's a lot of emotion. Where does that come from? The fact that you convey your music like you do, and what is that? How did you pick that up?
It's a lot of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say trauma.
Okay.
Trauma, not only trauma, not just to be negative, also on the good side, church.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a little kid going to church, you pick up little emotions here and there.
Right. It's a spiritual place.
It's a spiritual. All of this in the world, we in a spiritual, battle for real.
Right. Spiritual battle. Now, can we magnify that? What you mean when you say that in these days?
Perceive things as of what they are, and never what they supposed to be.
Okay. So when people show you who they are, believe them, so to speak.
Yes.
Right. How do you find the balance between staying true to your authentic self and catering to your audience? How's that balance? How you find that balance between the two?
Honestly, right now, I'm just being myself for real. I'm still young, but I experienced a lot of life to be as the age I am today. So I know what my core fan base likes, but I still remain myself regardless.
That's good. So you saying you don't pander or cater? You kind of as a true artist, and you do what you feel.
I'm giving it to you organic.
Right. In what ways do you think being from DC and New Orleans, how does that play in your musical expression?
Some might say they might think I have a cultural advantage because we come from a very cultural city as is DC, and then I get that extra culture from down in New Orleans. You got food, you got culture, you got different nationalities as far as Creole, Haitians, and stuff like that. So it just depends.
Okay. Collaborations are a big part of hip hop, right? And are there any artists, local or global, that you want to work with?
There's a couple local artists I looked up to when I was younger and based in the DMV area, DC's, and like Fat Trail, stuff like that. I was kind of listening to like middle school, like the Slutty Boy area.
Yeah. So Slutty Boys raised you,
Yeah, that was my shit.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
And then New Orleans for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Baby. Also Master P, that shit
he was big.
That shit take a big toll for real.
Right. The music industry is constantly evolving. How do you stay innovative and relevant, or do you care to do that at all?
I'm not gonna say necessarily I don't care, but I do realize that now in today's time, I have my own sort of movement.
Mm-hmm.
I got my own lingo. I do what I do.
Right,
I ain't worry about nothing. I fuck with the people that fuck with me.
That's right.
You either love me or don't like me.
Right.
Shit like that.
Which is good.
Yeah.
You gotta feel some type of extreme emotion about the artist. If you hate me or love me. What do you believe social media plays in shaping careers of emerging artists, and how do you leverage the platforms like Instagram and Twitter, or are you active on those platforms?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of promotion on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and getting to do the TikTok stuff. The TikTok stuff kind of new,
Mm-hmm.
new era, but you got to do it. You got to, one thing in this industry you got to do is promote.
Right.
Make sure people hear you, and even when you're promoting, you gotta add some extra hashtags and stuff just to get other people, other places to bring you to your page.
Right. So, I mean, the landscape is moving so fast, so I understand how you gotta constantly hit it. And your stage presence is often praised by critics and fans alike. How do you prepare for live performances, and what energy do you aim to bring to the stage? How do you prepare for a performance, or do you? How do you do that?
I normally don't really prepare. I kind of get lost in my own element when I get on stage. When I get on stage, I kind of lose myself in my own zone. You know what I'm saying? I might pray before I get on stage. I might take a deep breath. You know what I'm saying? Make sure my breath intakes are good.
Right. Like the control.
Yeah. Probably before I come to a performance, I might, you know what I'm saying, drink tea and stuff like that, keep my vocals good. Right. Because I do a little singing time to time. Okay. But nothing too major. Okay.
All right, your latest project, The Lost Files, Still Having Mood Swings, received positive reviews from the fans and critics alike. Could you tell us more about the creative process behind what inspired that project?
Okay, so Still Having Mood Swings, Lost Files. When I was making that project, Still Having Mood Swings as is, like the first one before I did the Lost Files, it was kind of sort of the background for Mood Swings was an emotional progress because when I dropped the first Mood Swing on all platforms, when I first started doing it professionally, my grandmother passed in New Orleans. She was like everybody big mama for real, like. Everybody loved her. Everybody treated her like, I ain't gonna say too much, but she was somebody either you need to have on your team, and if you don't, you in bad shape.
Yeah, go. I wanna implore the people to go download Queen of the South. You get the whole story of what Murrlandd Babee is talking about. So that inspired Queen of the South, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I like that song. I like that song a lot. What advice would you give an aspiring artist that was in your same, that wanted to start in 2024, and he said, Murrlandd Babee, what should I do? What would you tell that young person?
I would say continue to be prayed up. You know what I'm saying? Believe in God first, number one. And then, any pain, what don't kill you, don't make you strong. It makes you stronger regardless. If you ain't dead, it make you stronger. Okay. So, you try to use that pain as your momentum.
Good word.
Keep going, keep moving, never stop.
And I first saw you and was very impressed at the Who Got the Heat showcase. Can you tell us a little bit about Who Got the Heat performing there and your experiences there? Just tell us a little bit about Who Got the Heat showcase.
Man, first of all, shout out Low, Who Got the Heat. And man, Who Got the Heat from a whole, y'all make me feel like a family for real. Like that's number one. Right. Like it takes a lot for me sometimes, kind of let my guard down, being an upcoming artist, coming from where we come from in the DMV area. Right. So that's a first.
Right. And how was the reception at your live performances? I see you go to Who Got the Heat, you go to the other spots and perform. Is the community how would you say the music community is in the DMV?
Music community in the DMV can sometimes be a tough crowd. Honestly, coming from here, you got a tough crowd because DC and Maryland has their own sound. They have their own sound. They kind of have their own sound of drill music. Honestly.
Right.
So I think my biggest thing when I try to record stuff like that, I give my authenticity first, but I also make sure I bring something to the table that's going to be like different.
Right.
So I won't sound like everybody else. So
Right.
you can't be like, oh, he this type of artist. I'm never gonna make something that's gonna make you feel like, oh, I'm gonna just stick on that. I'm always switch it up.
Right. That's part of being an artist. Yeah. And we have we got the heat hot 5 questions, random, that you have to answer. First thing come to your mind. Oh, let me get your thoughts. I want to get you a little bit on the what you think about the competitive aspect of rap. What we're seeing now with Kendrick, Drake, Future, and these people, right? What do you think? How much does that play in this step of hip hop? Or does competition play at all? Or do you feel any competition? Or is it more like collaborative effort and kumbaya? Or how do you approach competition in music?
I think competition is good for hip hop. Period. Mm-hmm. It's always supposed to be there. Everything don't gotta be serious. Mm-hmm. We all do the same craft. Mm-hmm. So why not make it a little fun from time to time? Right. You gotta, if you man time, and even the women out here, if you got something to talk about it. Right. It's all steel sharp steel. Yep. There's no violence, but steel sharp steel. It's good to be competitive. Okay. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten from someone? Oh man, what's the best advice that I ever got from someone? That's a hard question. Mm-hmm. Cause you come across so many things in life. Certain things just stick with you, but some you got early, some you got on later in life, some you stick to that you always go by. I would say it was probably what I said earlier. Mm-hmm. That always stuck with me. And saying I always perceive life for what it is. Right. And never perceive it for what it could be or what it should be. That stuck with me. That stuck with me since I've been young because my grandmother, she put that in me for me. Yeah. That's a good thing to have. Yeah. You don't waste time like that. Yeah. Can't waste your life. Imagine there's no more music. How do you spend Tuesday? How do I spend Tuesday? If there's no more music, you never did music, and it's a Tuesday. What is Murrlandd Babee doing? I mean, I'm a very musical person, so even if I'm not making my own music, I'm kind of listening to some music. Okay. And it's not always hip hop either. I might listen to some jazz and blues once in a while. Might put on some Bob Marley. Okay. It just depends. Might put on some Erykah Badu or some Sade. I find most rappers don't listen to rap constantly. More rappers like vibing out, and they usually listen to maybe some R&B or some old school, something to vibe to. Music is very vibrational. Right. So it just depends on what headspace you're in, what you want to listen to. Mm-hmm. And okay, what person from history would you add to Mount Rushmore? In general. Overall. They like that nigga need to be up there. I'm not really sure. It could be somebody from your lifetime. It don't have to be anybody famous, but somebody that you would say, man, if I had a chance, I say I want him up there or her. I would say probably either one of my grandmothers. Mm-hmm. I knew my OGs. That's what I want you to say. Come first. Right. If you could be in any great Olympic sport, which one would it be? Murrlandd Babee is the gold medalist in football. Okay, that's right. What position? Contact. What position? Linebacker. Okay, that's right. Or you can put me. I ain't big as I used to be, but I used to play a little fullback too. Okay. Coming up here. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I played football too. What's the worst job you ever had? Man, my first job I ever had, man, I was working in a car wash, man. Yeah. Hated that one, huh? Hated it, man. And I was working with all Latinos. They didn't speak no English. Mm-hmm. I had to learn as over the years, more longer. Mm-hmm. I continued to work with them, you know what I'm saying? I started to pick up what I'm saying, speaking Spanish. So I can't speak it fluently, but I can understand it.
Okay. When I say the word Bacchiana, what does that mean to you?
Bacchiana.
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean?
That's your old lady.
Okay.
If that's your old lady, that's your Bacchiana, man. From the back. Do that right. But that's grown talk though.
So Bacchiana is basically your main Jane.
That's your main Jane. That's your old lady.
Okay, all right. That's not a side Bacchiana.
Nah,
not a side Yana. All right. I heard what inspired Hate It or Love It? Song Hate It or Love It.
Hate Me or Love Me.
Right. And Exotic was the same way. What was Exotic about?
Exotic was about a bunch of strange, unfortunate events that transpires into other events of life. Everything is like, I look at when I write music, like everything is like a chapter.
Right.
So I'm writing about chapters, stuff that added up to get to this.
Okay.
Or to get to the next thing.
Okay. All right. Now you had when officially you was telling me about the drop of the Lost Files. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, the drop, and where we could find the latest project?
So you can find Still Having Mood Swings, Lost Files is out right now. But it's on Spotify right now and 35 other platforms. But unfortunately, Apple Music is getting updated right now. Apple Music takes a little bit longer because they have the extra quality and stuff on their platform. Spatial sound, loose leaf, high leaf, stuff like that. So that takes a little bit more time.
Yeah, the stuff does sound more fire on Apple Music.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. So the Lost Files. So when did they drop on all other platforms? When did they drop on all? Last week or week before?
420.
Oh, 420. All right, so it's just out. So everybody go get it. The Lost Files. Still having mood swings. The Lost Files. We appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to tell the people to go get or let them know about?
I say just give me a chance, listen to my music. I feel like I'm up next for real.
Right.
What about y'all?
I feel the same way. Can we give it up for Murrlandd Babee one time, please? Nice.